In Northern Ireland, peace has been achieved and society is moving on from the devastation the conflict brought. However, the legacy of the Troubles still remains. How you define yourself, British or Irish, can determine where you live, the people in your social circle, and the traditions of Northern Ireland that you're exposed to. Young people here, born after the Good Friday Peace Agreement, have seen firsthand the realities of living in a post-conflict society. Sometimes violence flares again.
In April 2021, riots broke out in response to the Northern Ireland Protocol Agreement. Some unionists believed it was a shift towards a united Ireland that left British culture, heritage and identity in Northern Ireland under threat. Seeing this, it struck me that growing up in Northern Ireland is an experience like no other. I reached out to two young people from both sides of the community to discover how the history of conflict and violence here continues to affect a new generation.
So I'm Alana Cahoon, I'm 18 years old. I was born and raised in Portadown in County Armagh, and I identify as a unionist.
I'm Dermot Hummel, I'm 17, I'm from South Armagh and I'm a young Irish nationalist.
What does your unionist identity mean to you?
It is about, being strong with your British identity, but there is no clause in unionism that says you must hate the other. I shouldn't have to hate another side of the community just to celebrate my own.
And what does that Irish nationalist identity mean to you?
Well, my nationalism it's part of who I am. All of my political beliefs kind of centre around it.
So how do you see the legacy of the Troubles continue to affect you and your community?
My generation, we were born after the Troubles. It was after 1998 and the Good Friday Agreement, so we are really the children of the ceasefire. But we still do live with those consequences of the Troubles. We see our families being affected of things they've witnessed, places that they don't feel safe going to.
It's left behind segregation. You have a Protestant shop and a Catholic shop, or nationalist doctors and the unionist doctors. We've segregated schools. Like, these are entire societies just torn apart.
Looking beyond the Northern Ireland Protocol, what do you think is the underlying cause of the anger we saw in the riots?
A lot of the anger in the riots was definitely caused by misinformation. A lot of the people don't understand it fully and they just see it as an attack on their culture.
And people feel disregarded, they don't feel listened to. And whenever you have that, it causes anger, and then that anger explodes into violence.
So when these young boys in Belfast, in Coleraine as well, were rioting, it was more to protect their own culture, they felt, because they see this border being drawn down the Irish Sea as the next step towards a united Ireland. We should still be part of the UK. We are still part of the UK, but when you're trying to order something off a website that says, sorry, we only deliver to the UK and won't accept your address, that definitely feels like your culture, your identity has been attacked.
What political issue do you think will have the greatest effect on the future of Northern Ireland?
I think integrated education is the big one. If we can still enjoy our culture, but do so in a way that we can bring the community together, why wouldn't we? And the best way to do that is at education.
In your view, what political issue will have the greatest effect on the future of Northern Ireland?
Suicide has been one of the largest killers in Northern Ireland. Unfortunately, when there is bombs going off every few days in your own town, in your own home, there is going to be levels of PTSD there. If we're going to have a better Northern Ireland, a happier Northern Ireland, it's not that we need to fix our past, it's that we need to fix what's going on right now, which is the suicide epidemic.
Now that I have you both together, I'd like to talk about what your communities don't understand about each other.
We are fairly similar. We might have cultural and political differences, but we're not aliens from each other.
And it's about realising that not one political party, not one group represents everybody.
What makes growing up in Northern Ireland a unique experience?
I had a bomb scare outside of our school when I was like 13, and it was just very like, oh, bomb scare today. And that was it. You'll see something on the news and it'll not be, oh, that's really sad. You're thinking, what's the reasons behind that? What has this person done? It's very like, we have a different mindset when it comes to tragedy almost. One of the lasting things I think that growing up in Northern Ireland has left with me is an appreciation for other cultures. I couldn't understand at a young age why the people that lived 10 minutes down the road from me supported different football teams to me and were able to speak a different language than I could. There's so many different little cultures packed into 1.8 million people in this small part of an island.
Growing up in Northern Ireland is a unique experience. While the shadow of the Troubles looms large, the future is bright. People like Alana and Dermot have the opportunity to continue to fight the battle for peace that was fought by so many for so long.